Hey guys, welcome back. For today's video, we're doing the last tutorial in this series, and it is with this palette right here. This is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Ring the Alarm palette. My last two videos, I did the Dark Magic and the Bling Boss. I have it right here because I cannot remember the names of anything anymore. I couldn't get Armed and Gorgeous, and then this video today is the Ring the Alarm. So this is the look that I have for you guys. If you want to go ahead and stay tuned for the tutorial, it will be coming soon. I'll go ahead and insert swatches right here so you guys can see what everything looks like swatched out. You can kind of see the color scheme that you're getting and what you're going to be working with. Also, it is official. I did get the collection in already. This is the entire collection, all 4 of the palettes, and I do have a giveaway going on. I already posted it on my Instagram, so head on over to my Instagram. All the rules will be there. I always like to host giveaways on Instagram because it's just so much easier for me, number one, and number two, it's a lot more easier to get in contact with people because you can just direct message them. So yeah, it is on my Instagram. Make sure you head over there right now, enter my giveaway. It's a chance to win a free collection, and I actually really love this collection. I know there were a lot of issues and there was controversy and blah 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 blah. I had no problems with the palette. I thought everything blended beautifully from what I use. I've mentioned before, I'm not like the biggest fan of Morphe palettes. Their palettes are kind of hit or miss for me, just like their brushes. I love some of their brushes, I hate some of their brushes, I love some of their palettes, and I hate some of their palettes, and I have absolutely no problem telling my opinion and telling you guys how things are and just how I've experienced them. Keep in mind, this is my opinion. I know people love Morphe and they live, breathe, and die for Morphe. I'm just not one of those people, but this collection I've had no issues with. Sometimes I feel like people are just trying to start drama and they're just looking to start something that is just not necessary. So also keep that in mind. I thought the mattes were great, I thought the shimmers were great, and I really enjoyed the entire collection. I've actually already used the Bling Boss and Dark Magic. Yeah, Dark Magic. I've used both of those palettes already on clients and they thought that they looked beautiful and I thought they performed beautifully. So yeah, just want to mention that. I'm gonna give credit where it's due, and if there's something wrong, I'll say it, but I didn't think there was anything wrong. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the tutorial and I'll show you guys how I created this look. I feel like my eye looks a little crusty because my paint pot, okay, let me show you guys my paint pot. I'm almost out of it and I refuse to let it go until I literally scrape out every single last drop. I am that bitch. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start with the shade right here. This is the shade Rush. I'm taking this with an E40 as per usual. Just gonna blend this as my transition. I feel like I've heard some people say that they don't think these palettes blend that well. I don't find I have any issues blending. Like, I feel like everything blends great. Next, let's go ahead and move on to this one right here. This is the shade Alert. These two colors are pretty similar. Alert is definitely deeper. It's like a true orange. And the first one that I put down is kind of like more of a peachy orange. I'm taking it with the same exact brush. I'm just really going for that gradient, kind of like a lightest to deepest eye. And this is again one of those things where it's like not gonna make the biggest difference. Like, you don't have to do this, but all of these steps just really help create a nice blown out smoky eye. Just gonna go right over that. So you can see like the lightest shade is just barely peeking out, but it's up there. Like, we pretty much covered it up, but you can still see the gradient of the color. Okay, I'm gonna take the shade right here. This is the shade Mugshot. It's like a really burnt orange color. I literally live for these shades. I think this would be a really nice fall palette, like with all these pretty oranges. Oranges? What the fuck? And then this is the Sigma E38. Just a little bit of a smaller brush. I'm gonna take this in my crease, like right above where my eye folds. I'm just gonna try to make my eye look a little bit bigger, since I think I've said this in like my last 3 videos that I have a little bit of a hooded lid. So I just like to like raise my crease a little bit higher just to make my eyes look a little bit bigger. So just gonna kind of buff this in. This shadow is really, really pigmented, so you don't need a ton of it. So I'm going in with little by little. Like you'll see I keep tapping into the palette, but it's because it's so intense. I wanna go in little by little rather than going in with just like so much product, because it's gonna be really hard to blend out. So I'm just like laying it down, just kind of like blending it up into those other two colors. This is the shade Secret, and I'm gonna take this little BH Cosmetics brush. This is a V20. It's this little teeny tiny detailed brush, and this shade is also quite pigmented. So you wanna go in with just a little bit of product, but I'm taking this right where my eye creases, like in the direct crease. Just gonna deepen this up a little bit. So far with the oranges and this brown, this is literally screaming fall. Like this is a pumpkin spice latte on my eye. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the lid, and to start, I'm gonna take this shade right here. This is the shade Bomb Ass. I was actually hoping this shade was gonna be a little more shimmery. This is more of a sheen. You can see it on my inner corner right here, and my lash is lifting, so ignore that. I'm just a hot mess today, okay? I was actually hoping that this was gonna be like a really shimmery, intense red. It comes off more, I think, in my opinion, as like a cranberry color. When you swatch this out, it kind of comes off a little more like, not as intense as I was expecting it to be. It's not that the shadow doesn't perform well, it does. There's nothing wrong with it. I was just hoping this shade was gonna be like super, super intense. It's kind of more of like a satiny rather than like a really crazy intense shimmer. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Just want to keep it 100% honest. But anyways, I'm going to take this with a Morphe. This is a M167. I'm so pissed. I lost my favorite Sigma brush, and now I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a packing brush. I actually think I left it at a client's house. I'm so mad at myself because that was my favorite brush, and now I have to buy another one, and I don't want to buy another one. I want my old one. But anyway, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to pack this on the very inner part of my lid. See, it's pretty, like it's pigmented and there's nothing wrong with it. I was just hoping it was gonna be like pressed pigment, you know what I mean? But anyways, I guess that's just me being a picky little bitch. There is a little bit of fallout. It's not too, actually, I didn't tap off the excess, so that could be it as well. But the fallout in this palette is not really that bad. I do have powder down so I can dust it away, but just like all the other palettes, there's a little bit, but it's not that bad. It's not like the Anastasia ones. They have a ton of fallout. I actually don't mind fallout at all as long as the shadow performs, so it doesn't matter to me, but I just want to mention that because I know some people like to know. I'm just gonna wipe off whatever's on there on my hand because I'm lazy, and we're gonna go into Boom, the shade right here. It's like a really pretty coppery color. Pick that up with the same brush. We're gonna pack this in the middle part of my lid. We're gonna go into the shade right here. This is the shade Siren, and I'm just gonna pack this on the outer part of the eye. Also, this shade Siren is very similar to Framed, like the color scheme, but Framed is a lot more purple and Siren is a lot more, this has a lot more red in it. When I first looked at this palette, I was like, these two shades are so similar. They actually look very similar on camera. When you see it in person, this one is definitely way more purple, and this has a lot more red in it. But they do look differently on the eye. Very similar in the pan, but they look differently on the eye. Just want to point that out because that was my first initial thought when I first saw this palette. I was like, it's kind of a bust, but they look differently once you have them on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this little tiny BH brush again, and I'm just gonna go into Boom, which was that coppery color I put on the center, and I'm just gonna like kind of use that to help diffuse that line right there. I just dipped into a little bit of Bomb Ass, just kind of diffuse that line I don't know how I feel about this look. Like, I don't know if it's just very different for me. I do this color scheme, but this is like a little dramatic for me, you know? Like, I don't usually do the bright inner corner or like that, like this color right here. Like, it's really pretty, but I wouldn't do like this and then a copper and then something else on the outer V. That's not really my vibe. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think about this look. Not that the shadows weren't good. The shadows were really good. I think just the look I personally created with this, I'm not like 100% happy with it. Like, I could have gone in a different direction. I don't know. I was at the point where I was like, it's too late. I already did it and I'm not starting over. So this is what you get. Okay, so I just did a little bit of black shadow. I used that as liner to hide my lash band. And then the lashes that I used today are these. They're from this brand that I talked about in my last video or maybe in the video before that. But they're by this brand right here. I'm going to be talking about them in my next video. They're by, I think it's pronounced Buku. And these are the style Ms. Diva. You can see they're just like kind of like long, romantic type lashes. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm gonna take a little bit of Mugshot. I'm gonna take it with this brush that I use in all my videos for the lower lash line. It's the Morphe E17. I'm just gonna do like a little wash of color. Do the same thing I always do, just kind of connect it to the outer V of the eye. I'm going to take a flat definer brush. You can use any flat definer brush that you have, and I'm going to go into the shade right here. This is the shade Framed. Just going to blend out the harsh line. Lastly, for the inner corner, we're going to go in with the shade right here. This is the shade On Camera. I'm just taking this with an Eco Tools brush. This is the little one I always use. And that is it. This is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you took the time to watch this video, as usual, I just want you guys to know that it is always appreciated. Also, don't forget to head on over to my Instagram to enter the giveaway for this baby right here. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these last couple of videos I did on this collection. I think my favorite out of all of them definitely had to be Dark Magic. Like, such a weird surprise for me because I'm not really into cool tones and like super smoky. I'm very much into like tones like this, but I have to say, like, I've got about like 18 million of these shades already, so I really think that I enjoyed the Dark Magic and the purple one. I think those two were definitely my favorite. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!